my skin so gorgeous. We thank the life gorgeous. Thank the life gorgeous. I love the life gorgeous. Its torso is so tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Life Gorgeous, where I share my magical life in hopes of improving your life. Our old friend, comedian, producer, writer, podcaster with Greg Fitzsimmons, Sunday Papers, it's Mike Gibbons, a.k.a. Gibby.
Comedian's weird. We both know that's not, I'm going to go.
You've done stand-up.
Yes. Oh, no, it's the easiest art form. I kill, but I'm not a comedian.
The easiest art form. When was the last time you did stand up?
I was supposed to do it St. Patrick's Day, but I wound up going to New York instead. I love, well, you know, one, you'd like this. This is Kilby's humor. Some people would bring me in, they'd have like fundraisers for their kids' schools, right? And then, you know, they take what they can get. And I'm sure I replaced someone who dropped out.
Right.
But I went to this one and I'm like, you know, I'm not really a stand-up, but when I'm called to raise money for privileged children, I'm there. Because you got to remember where you came from and you got to give back. And so
that's good. That's good. Did you get a haircut, buddy? You look good.
No. So I had a motorcycle helmet on earlier today. Took my daughter up to the Palisades. We had not seen the devastation up there. Man, it looks like a trailer park that a twister came. Yeah. And it's just now plots.
It's rough. I drove up PCH about a week ago and there's a stretch where it's just burned, man, in Malibu.
Right.
So I haven't seen Palisades, but I have a buddy who lost his home. He just flat out lost his home in Palisades. Crazy. But that's not why we're here today.
No.
I'm going to do a little wind up for the first question, which is kind of fun. I'm just having fun. Gibby and I work together. I don't remember Gibby as a crier, someone who cried a lot, maybe a couple times when you didn't get a joke in the show.
Yeah, but on the outside.
But if you did cry, who would you cry? Which death would you cry more over? You know, Ozzy Osbourne or the Hulkster? Hulk Hogan.
That's a tough one. You know, the best thing I heard about Ozzy was leave it to Ozzy, man. He knocked Coldplay out of rotation. Like all of a sudden Sabbath came in and just everyone was hearing Coldplay on social media forever. That was a very strong
That's
move.
Good.
Ozzy affected me because even I think you could appreciate it. There's on YouTube, there's a concert of Black Sabbath, 1970 in Paris. As you know, Paris were often, especially then, you know, early adopters of music that the rest of the world, like, you know, some of our jazz greats from America first were really appreciated there. And I think that's a good way to look at it because they just came out of Manchester, Birmingham, right? And they just hit the scene and it was, you just see this new, you view it as a new art form.
Yeah.
This metal, heavy metal music. And this concert is unbelievable. You can find it on YouTube. So
I saw your clip. I saw your clip on the Instagram story and he was moving and it was intense.
Well, the headbanging, you know, was on stage was relatively new.
Did you listen to him and Black Sabbath in the 70s when you were a kid?
Yeah,
wow.
I did. I then found the Clash and moved more, you know, Clash are more, I mean, whatever. People will hate this, but they're more of like the Beatles of punk. You know, they were more concerned with melody and harmonies. There was two of them. And so and a lot of people think technically the Clash really isn't punk, and I'll allow that. So I then moved more towards that.
My brother and I back in the 70s we were listening to the Jackson 5 and the Stylistics, and then our older sister listened to Black Sabbath, and my brother and I heard Iron Man, and I hid under the pillow. I didn't know what was happening, but he definitely has a unique voice, and it's dynamic. What were your thoughts when you I don't know how old you would have been when you first heard, my name is Iron Man.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Well, and you know, something kids I don't think do as much anymore, but you and I both know, like I would just be dying for the liner notes or the lyrics. And then what happened is you would read Black Sabbath's lyrics and they were almost all very insecure. Like, in other words, I can't feel. It was like he wrote them after his therapy sessions. And I was like, wow, this is a real dichotomy. Like, you just think this guy's, you know, spewing blood out of chickens or bats or whatever all the time. And it's like, not at all. It was very sensitive. Like they're written by a very sensitive person. So I didn't really think that. I will tell you, similar to I think what you want to ask, I remember being in recess in grammar school. I think I was in 5th grade. Matt Longstreet, who we later learned his great-grandfather, I think it was great, I hope it was great, was General Longstreet in the Civil War. Anyway, Matt Longstreet had a tape recorder, you know, you had to press the 2 buttons for tape and
exactly.
So he had one of those, not a boombox, and he put on a cassette of Led Zeppelin. And I was at the far rim at the other end of the court outside dribbling, and it literally was like a scene out of a movie. I then just like misdribbled and just turned and just felt it in my crotch. And I was just like, what is that sound? Like, it was just instinctual. It was animalistic.
Yeah, that's funny. Now I got to unpack a few things. First of all, what would Matt Longstreet's porno name be? You know, you're supposed to take, what are you supposed to take? The street you live on? And then I can't remember what it is.
Oh, so street's in there. Yeah.
He's Longstreet.
Fluffy,
you were dribbling. I'm shocked that you were dribbling.
I know. I just shoot. Whenever I touch the ball, I just shoot. You know me.
And it's funny you
say. Passes. No, doesn't touch the ground. It's fast.
So I went to a Jackson 5 concert at 5th grade. I saw a strobe light for the first time.
I hope that didn't hit you in the crotch.
But in 8th grade, I did get hit in the crotch, figuratively, the way you're talking, when I went to some school dance at the parochial school, and I wasn't parochial. My buddy took me there. They had a band covering songs. The song I heard in the bass line was Thin Lizzy Jailbreak. And I was like, oh, wow, this is cool, man.
Yeah.
So I did want to ask you, let me get rid of the wrestling question. I'm going to come back to music. But were you ever into pro wrestling? And did you ever go to an event? No?
No, and I've had a lot of, there's even today still, there's some guys in writers' rooms. Well, one writer, Tommy Blacha, he left Conan to go write for wrestling.
Oh.
And I think and Conan tells a story about, he would say this dumb line, and then Tommy called him and goes, hey, I want you to watch WWE tonight. And basically he gave The Rock Conan's dumb line that we'd always say.
Oh.
It was like a dismissive line that was like absurd. Yeah. So anyway, I've been in writers' rooms and I understand the drama. We were trying very hard to get The Rock on the Tom Brady roast. And we had written all these like different entrances, and Belichick was going to be the Undertaker, like because of his hoodie. And he was going to come out to the bells so I know some stuff, but I have never watched it live.
It was huge in Minneapolis. I think at WWE in Vern Gagne. I think it even started there. And Mean Gene Okerlund was from there. It was
Gorgeous
huge.
George. Yes.
Well, the Bobby the Brain Heenan was the guy, but it was very entertaining. But you have to realize we moved from New Jersey to Minnesota. And this was right when I was in kindergarten. And Saturday night, Dad called us to the dinner table. You had to come and sit right away. Right off the living room with the television. And I've told this story before, but calls us for dinner. I sit down. My brother and sister are still in the living room watching TV, and I can't leave now. And they are freaking out. The guy just put his thumb in the guy's eye. Oh my God, he's picking up a chair. He's hitting him over the head with a chair. I go, Dad, he goes, you stay right here. They had never seen pro wrestling, and I'm hearing them. Yeah. My brother freaking out. A guy put a thumb in the eye, and now a folding chair over the guy's back.
Right.
And then we were hooked because it was comedy, though. You know, it's so funny. And the interviews before and after the contest, they took it very seriously, and there was a lot of bravado. So it was entertaining. you would have liked it, I think, at one point in your life. You would have felt something in your crotch.
Definitely. No, no, no. And there are times, and first of all, they are really doing that. I mean, there is a thumb in the eye, there is a broken chair. So there's some degree of spectacle for sure.
Are you doing a joke that it's all fake? Is that all you're saying? It's funny that it's fake.
Well,
Who cares?
of course it's fake. Yeah,
I know, but are you saying, is that why you didn't want, you wanted it to be real? You wanted guys to really get hurt or what?
I'm checking. This camera is fixing my appearance or something. Hold on.
No, it looks the same right now. Looks good.
No, I got a little less. Okay, that's more real. Anyway, so no, was never, can't really answer, but I do know those wrestling moments. And who was the guy? Roddy Piper?
Roddy Piper, yeah.
Yeah. Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper.
I used to like him a lot. And
Right.
then, of course, as you remember, what's his name brought wrestling into Letterman? Andy Kaufman.
Yes.
Because of his beefs and his routines that he was doing. So
we're moving off wrestling. I hope you can prepare
Sure.
for that. We're going back to music because I know Gibby a long time. I don't fully know his music library. I found out recently. I should have known this, but he never talked about it. He's a huge Bob Dylan fan. Let me just throw this at you because I just want to hear, because I find myself, as I eschewed a white rock and roll growing up for the soul music, I listen to a lot of it now, but I'm going to give you three guys and just tell me your favorite of the three and give me an order that you like, because I like all three of them.
okay.
Van Morrison, Tom Petty, Neil Young.
Wow, yeah, those are really good. Lately I've been on a Van Morrison. I tell my daughters who are listening to more outside of like Brown Eyed Girl, and I'm like, I go, you got think of his voice as a horn, and especially like in Astral Weeks, where it's like he's just scatting at times, and then just making but his voice with a bit even in lyrics, it's like a horn, and that's the best way to appreciate him. I mean, my longest relationship, however, though, is with Neil Young, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Most intense.
Absolutely. Love him. He's number one of those three guys for me personally.
I would have bet everything it was Van Morrison.
No. I like him, but I actually probably have him third because my friend had Damn the Torpedoes in high school, and Here Comes My Girl. I like Petty a lot.
Oh, I love Petty.
But Neil Young, come on. Hey, my, hey. That stuff is great.
Well,
Cinnamon Girl. Come on.
Go to around 1971, maybe. But first of all, he has this album out of Canada when he returned, and it's live, and it was only released in the last 10 years. I'm going to get the name in a second. But he also has live at Carnegie Hall all around the same time, very similar set list, and at UCLA. It's on Apple Music, I'm sure. Oh, no, is he still in a war with Spotify?
I don't know, but I don't think it's embarrassing that I have Pandora, and I've just had it for years, and I have my Neil Young station, and I have my Joe Beam station, and my Boss Skaggs station, and my Bill Evans station. I guess I could change to Spotify, but Pandora does me just fine.
No, you wouldn't go to Spotify for Neil Young. I mean, he might be back on there, but his, I think it's called Macy Hall, live in Macy Hall. Just listen to that. It's all acoustic. He's fresh back. Some songs he introduces they've never heard. He goes, so I bought a ranch, and then he goes into Old Man, which he's never played before. So there's a lot of that.
Did you like Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. And Stephen Stills, I'm a huge fan of Stephen Stills.
I think I get you. So,
and by the way, there's a good documentary.
Yeah.
That's easy to watch. It's like an hour. I think it's on Amazon maybe, because they throw together a bunch of documentaries on music, but it's on Wildflowers. And it's really because it's Rick Rubin. And basically Rick Rubin doing his best, which is, no, this is where you are now, like tapping into the person of where they are now as an artist. And all of a sudden it cuts to, he has like demos, and then they interview one of Petty's kids, and he's like, yeah, so in that demo, that's how I found out my parents were getting divorced.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yep.
speaking of live albums, this happened about a week ago. My friend in Minneapolis, Dan Barrera, who has the #1 show, I was a guest on his show last week. And the day before, he had tweeted on his X account that the Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore East is the best live album ever. And it's not even close. He liked to say that just to have fun because that's what he likes. So I talked to him about it. And I said, I have not heard the Allman Brothers much, so I'm now listening, and I had fun because the neighbors came over and I got some Southern Comfort, and we all bonded. I did a joke about listening to the Allman Brothers, and it is good. I just started listening to it, but I looked it up, and most people have it #2. They have the Who live at Leeds 1.
Yeah.
The one that I knew on the list.
I'm up and moving. Go ahead. I'm listening.
The one that I knew was Frampton Comes Alive.
Sure.
Now, I'm saying you could care less about Frampton Comes Alive. Don't fall, by the way.
No. So
this is exciting. This is movement. Oh, he's showing me a picture.
Allman Brothers.
Oh, you know,
they are.
I knew you'd listen to the Allman Brothers.
And then now I've become obsessed with Duane Allman. And, Duane Allman's what? Now, this is why. So I had a friend. All this sounds so pretentious, but I had a friend we were just out of college, and he basically taught me how to listen to the Allman Brothers. And it was because Duane Allman and other guys in the band had just become obsessed with Coltrane.
Oh, interesting.
They couldn't get enough, and they had the 2 lead guitars, and it was like the horns. And then so he sat me down to listen to Whipping Post off that live album. And he goes,
right,
you have to see what they're doing.
Right.
And he's like, the band just lets them go. And the 2 guys are just finding ways, following each other.
Right.
And it's amazing. And then maybe we should end on this. You would like this. This is Duane Allman. They found it. He was in a hotel. I forget what hotel it was in. Anyway, he wrote this on New Year's Day. And it was his resolution. And meanwhile, this guy died at like 24 years old.
Right.
The biggest crime ever. But no, the Allmans, I think exactly as he said, there are live albums I'm probably unaware of, right? Like Keith Jarrett, Colne concert, right. I love, but I don't think that's really in the same.
Folsom Prison, Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Folsom. So, but the thing to know about that is that was recorded at 3 a.m.
Which one?
The Allman Brothers live album that you're talking about, or maybe
wow.
it might have started at 1 a.m.
Wow.
And they did 2 shows that night. And no, Wikipedia does a good job of talking about those shows and how they were recorded. But they were amazing.
I want you to bring your head close. I want your head to match mine. I want the computer closer. I don't want to dominate completely. I'm not dominating. It's not a competition.
It's not a competition. Okay, there.
So the Allman Brothers. So I listened to, as soon as my friend Dan tweeted that, I played some songs. The first one was Statesboro Blues. And I'm like, wow, this guitar is great. And this is I like blues. And, I guess it's, I don't know how they described it. Blues, country rock, whatever, but it's very good stuff. And I can see how dynamic it is for a lot of people. The Allman Brothers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me?
I thought you might like that.
It's Southern rock, but it's so much more sophisticated than that.
Yeah. I used to do a joke but this is really when I was young, so it's not a great joke, but they'd say Cher, from Sonny and Cher. I'd say, you mean Cher, Bono, Allman, Simmons? I would do
yeah,
that.
There's a lot going on there. But just one quick thing. So this is on the other side of it. That's Wilson Pickett and Duane Allman. Do you know that story?
No.
It's told in a few documentaries. The best one is Muscle Shoals. But basically, all the guys from Muscle Shoals were going to lunch, and they're like, forget bringing a black guy to lunch at that point in Alabama. They're like, but the thing they hated second most was a hippie. So these 2 guys had to stay. While they stayed there, Duane Allman was camped outside literally because he just wanted to be around music. He played on Aretha's albums. He became before the Allman Brothers, the session musician. He's 21 or 2. And anyway, while they're gone, Duane Allman goes to Wilson Pickett. Hey, I got an idea. You want to find like your new identity, new sound? let's do Hey Jude. I'm also thinking it's like, Hey Jude, that's on the radio right now. And he's like, yeah, but we're going to do it different. And he's like, so anyway, the guys come back from lunch and both of them are like, we're going to do Hey Jude. They're like, no, you're not. Like, that's literally in rotation. The album just came out a couple of months ago. It's like, no, we got a new thing. And their Hey Jude flew up the charts. And they say Southern Rock was born in his guitar solo. And Clapton said he was in London and heard this and goes, what is, kind of like I was in the schoolyard.
Yeah.
He was like, what is that? And then, I don't know if you know this, and this, I'll tie it up. I won't go on. I could go on for 2 hours. Duane Allman plays the most beautiful parts of Layla.
Oh, wow.
Because Clapton was obsessed with Duane Allman, and they recorded that in Miami together.
Now, wait a second. When did he record the Layla on for not for Clapton, but for
Clapton?
Oh, no, because he liked his guitar so much.
Guitar. Clapton had him in the studio.
Oh, wow.
He's the high-pitched singing guitar. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's about as dynamic a song as you can get. It's funny because I listen to Layla now. It plays a lot. I have to skip it sometimes when I'm walking because I hear it like 3 times a day. But it's funny how some of the songs have like 2 songs and then it shifts halfway through to the melodic part. But and that's the same with like, is it Band on the Run that's like that with McCartney where
those are 2 hits in one song.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. So I did have this other music question for you, which is, have you ever, when you were younger, did you ever go to a dance club and did you ever ask a girl and dance to dance music? I don't picture Mike Gibbons as someone who would go to a dance club and dance.
No, I mean, I think I'd have to be really drunk, but I would go to Limelight just to drink.
Right.
Like that's not what it was there for.
Right.
But that's what we would do as New York City kids, you know? Yeah, I don't like out on the dance floor type thing. No, not really. You nailed me. You got it.
So when you hear dance music, do you bop your head or no?
Yeah, no, I totally.
So you like Pet Shop Boys?
Well, that's Johnny Cash made me appreciate them even more. But yeah, like their lyrics.
Side note, because you just said something about I go there to drink. I have a restaurant, inside restaurant tip here. There's a buddy of mine he's a chef in Minneapolis, and he says I don't like rooftop bars because the people there just want to get hammered. Like it's not the crowd he wants.
Right.
So I don't know. And it's funny because there's a place in Carmel that has a rooftop bar. And I'm like, I went up there once and it's not like Bridge and Tunnel, but the young people from Monterey would come over to Carmel and be up there. And I was like, I'm out of here. This is kind of a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Speaking of restaurants, we're off of music. We could go on forever. I've been, Princess Cherry and I have been coming to Santa Monica. We do that in the summer sometime.
I saw a posting. You were over at,
So
Veneto.
We had to go to Shutters, the lobby. A friend of mine, they said, come to works with Shutters and says they have a new lobby bar, they have a piano player. I just want to ask you if you've been to Via Veneto or Pajoli, the French restaurant on Main Street. Have you been to either of those?
The 2 most expensive places on Main Street. I have. I've been to them. Pajoli seemed too pricey for what it was.
They've changed, by the way. Last 3 weeks, they made it more accessible. They got rid of the prefix menu.
Interesting.
But it is the best bar in that area because there aren't that many bars to choose from.
He's the guy that trained the guy in the Bear, right? Isn't that the story?
I think that's the story. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he has a Michelin star. So I only went there once, and then Via Veneto I've been to a couple of times, not in a while though.
Very good.
Very nice though, right?
Really, really surprised me because I used to live over there in the late 80s and there was a different restaurant there. Via Veneto has been there since 2001. We've only been there twice. It was tremendous. Harrison Ford is a regular apparently, and he was there the night we were there, the first night. But I recommend it. Not a full bar. But anyways, Via Veneto.
It's not a full bar. Oh, interesting.
It's not a full
I
bar.
remember I had a really good red wine from Oregon,
Okay.
of all things, when I went there, that the guy recommended. Did Harrison Ford have his earring in?
Did not see that. I did see. It's funny because the guy walked up to the. We were in the. They put us in the window seat, and I said, put the beautiful people there to attract more people, because we get there. I get there right when these places open because I want to get out of there. I want to get to bed early. But the guy walks up, and we all look different in profile. I said, "Hey, this guy looks like Harrison Ford a little bit." And then he walked in, and there he was. But
Hopefully
anyways,
hopefully he didn't drive his plane there.
hop, boom,
yeah.
I'm wondering.
He crashed a half a mile, less than half, like a quarter of a mile from the restaurant. He crashed his plane.
But I think we can say a gifted pilot if he was able to land it, right? No,
true, yeah, and on the 8th hole, which is a tough hole.
Okay, late night Colbert reaction. Stephen Colbert. I was stunned. I'm sure you were. What are your thoughts on Stephen Colbert, the show getting canceled?
Well, I'm pretty cynical, and I just think late night. I knew also going into its 10th year, it must be so expensive, because everyone's had increases for 10 years, and shows just get more and more. That's why Netflix. One of the reasons they love this model, even if the show's doing well, they cancel the thing after 3 years.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the only reason, but I don't think politics is the only reason either. That's my opinion, but I don't know.
That sounds about right. And I think we don't know because I keep getting new information. I'm going to give you some information that I heard yesterday, and I don't know the guy, and you probably do. So there's a comedian named Andrew Schultz. Do you know him?
Sure, of course.
Okay.
I worked with him on the roast.
That's what I thought. So he was on a podcast the other day, and he said, the guy says, the interviewer says, well, they can cut costs. They can just cut costs. And he says, well, actually they can't. They had tax incentives from the state of New York, and you have to hire so many people is part of the deal. And then when I hear this, I say, well, you're going to have to tear up that deal and make a new deal. So the state understands we're going to get canceled unless we can only hire 60 people and do a really stripped down show.
Yeah.
So I think logic dictates they could come up with a way to not lose so much money or make a little bit of money. So this is what Andrew Schultz said. He goes, they were making money, then they weren't making money, and the show would have been canceled in a year anyway. Now he's saying it like he has inside information. I did hear from him and others that outside of the normal broadcast where Colbert's ratings are tops, he lags behind in some of the social media. So Fallon has 32 million followers on YouTube, Kimmel 20, Colbert 10. So I guess they're behind in that way, where they make some money with some ads there. If the bosses wanted Stephen Colbert to go more to the middle, he's a very talented guy where he could interview a bunch of conservatives. Did you hear the number in the last, they only had one? Yeah. And I always said that we didn't know what Leno was politically. They say he was either in the middle. Some said he even was conservative. We knew Dave was a liberal, but he did not do it in his monologue. He took even shots. He would do it in the interviews when he yelled at Bill O'Reilly or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got these owners, the new owners, Larry Ellison and his son David, who are, my understanding, conservative. I don't know. Why'd they get rid of the whole franchise? I don't understand. I'm not sure what they're going to do.
Well, I mean, I was less surprised because the Late Late Show, your very Late Late Show, was replaced by At Midnight. And then they canceled At Midnight after. And by the way, Colbert was an executive producer on that.
Correct.
Followed his show. Anyway, they canceled it and just no effort to replace it. So now 12:30 to 1:30, which was, both networks had the 2 hours. They just gave up on that second hour, CBS did. And so now it's just Colbert. And, Seth Meyers had to lose his band. I mean, I think they're having very real conversations with them. I don't know if they, because of the politics, I don't know if they had a real conversation with Colbert of like, hey, listen, this isn't personal. Here's your choice. Right. Do it for this number or it can't be done.
Right.
And we won't even tell you what to do. Just you got to come in at that number.
Right.
I don't know if they had that conversation.
So I do remember, we know that late night viewing is dwindling. I was talking to Jimmy Kimmel, I want to say 5 years ago. It might have been more than that. And he said, your numbers at 12:30 would now beat or be competitive. Like, I thought he said you'd beat Leno, right? But I don't think that's true. But obviously they're dwindling. I wanted to tell you, when I was doing the CBS Late Late Show, a top executive at CBS said to me, if NBC had gone with Letterman instead of Leno, we would still be in the CBS Late Movie business, because we don't think Leno could carve out a late night block on CBS. That's how significant Dave is. So he thought they would still be showing the CBS Late Movie. And I just wanted to have fun here. And I want to, if they bring that back, I want to schedule the first week, Monday through Friday. Tell me what you think. You ready?
Okay. By the way, I just saw a classic old movie that was pushed on us. I can't wait to talk to you about it. I hated it. Go ahead.
Okay. Monday, we come out strong, Dirty Harry.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Tuesday, Magnum Force.
Oh.
Wednesday, Play Misty for Me.
Well, listen, late night.
This is for the Ellison, David and Larry Ellison. I'm just trying to help.
Late night has really shifted to the right. That's what you've done with this.
Thursday is the biggest night. We go Unforgiven. And then Friday, we hit him with Gran Torino. Boom.
Oh, man. Oh,
I'm just having fun.
Yeah, the white guy with a gun is back. That's what you put back on late night. A real shift here.
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. So what do you got? What'd you watch recently?
Okay, a guy was over here and he goes, like, Tarantino raves about it, or he's like, everyone raves. Oh no, some director said it's one of the best films showing at Los Angeles, old Los Angeles.
Okay.
Point blank. Lee Marvin, Angie Dickinson.
Haven't seen it.
I'm sold. I'm on.
Right.
Oh my God. I guess it tried to be avant-garde a little bit.
Right.
It was tough to watch. And we weren't going to make it through all of it, but we were like, well, where does this go now? So anyway.
I'm looking it up. I want to apologize. No, 1967. It's 7.3.
Yeah.
I do
that's because I haven't put my rating in yet.
I will say there are movies. I'm going to name a couple that I tried to watch and stopped, and then I liked it. I prepared myself maybe months later to rewatch it. So I really I hope you've seen it, The Conversation. Have you seen that?
Yes, but I'm overdue, way over. I saw it in my 20s.
Okay. So I really liked it the second time. Speaking of avant-garde, it was Coppola, and they said it was avant-garde. It had Harrison Ford in it, Gene Hackman, and Robert Duvall, and it was artsy. It was good, and they let it breathe. It's all good. My brother liked this one, and I tried to watch it, and then I didn't like it. It was the original Manchurian Candidate with Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it years later in the last 6 months, and I liked it because I was mentally prepared. Have you ever seen that?
Yes. Angela Lansbury?
Yeah. She sounds
but a long time ago.
Yeah.
Ahead of its time for sure. Then.
I'll tell you the one that's challenging to watch. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. First time I couldn't deal with it, too slow. Then I prepared myself. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
I loved it.
With Gary Oldman. You like it?
I loved it.
Okay, so you liked it the first time you saw it.
First time I saw it.
Would you say the pacing was slow?
I'll give you that. I'll give you the pacing was slow. But you're a young, you have one of those young attention spans. You're a busy guy. One I'm struggling through. You want to test your patience? I am an hour into it, and I'm not even halfway through it. Paris, Texas.
Oh, I've never watched that. I love the title. I love that there's a town in Texas called Paris.
Yep.
Is that with, tell me that character actor that used to go to
Yeah.
Dante's?
Oh no, he was everywhere. It was amazing. He's amazing.
Right. He's great.
Not
Nice
saying what
guy.
the hell's his name. I want to say I confuse him. He's with all the cool guys always.
Yeah.
I would see when I was friends
Harry
with
Dean Stanton.
Yes. I was friends with Levon Helm's daughter. So we'd go see Levon every time he was in LA. Harry Dean Stanton always there.
Yeah. I do like movies. Well, I don't think it's slow at all. But I was just talking. I like pacing. Like I talk about, and I like slow pacing. Like I talk about. I watched the television series Bosch, and the pacing. I like the pacing because they do the dissolve. They do ambient sound, nat sound. They don't always have music on the transition as they push in on the police department. And but there was a. Have you ever seen a Jim Jarmusch film? Yes,
I think I've seen them all.
Okay, so Kreger's is with Hank, and we're years ago watching Broken Flowers because Bill Murray's in it, and they transition and they push in on Sharon Stone's house through the woods, through the forest, through the branches, and then they push in again, and they keep pushing in, and they're pushing in. And I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "That's his pacing." I go, "Oh, this is hilarious," and I liked it. I'm laughing.
I actually haven't seen that one. That's
okay. But they do say his pacing.
Yeah.
So now I get a kick out of that. I do like it. You know what I'm saying?
There's some movies where I've watched it and I'm annoyed by the pacing.
Right.
And then 2 days later, I'm still thinking about the movie though.
Right.
So it was like there was some magic in that formula
right.
that had an effect on me.
If it's a cool shot, like in North by Northwest, the shot in the cornfield in the street where the two people are facing each other across from the street, the two figures. If it's a cool artistic shot, hang on it for a long time. I love it. But I also just heard Martin Scorsese, a quote from him. I get all these quotes on Instagram, these interviews with these guys. And he said, someone was saying that Casino doesn't have much of a plot. And he said, who cares? Vertigo doesn't have much of a plot. And he has Vertigo in his top 10 movies of all time. Now, you got to be in the right movie. Have you ever seen Vertigo or not? No?
Isn't it a lot of plot?
Well, there is plot in there, but it's the pacing. It's one of those things where my brother, we like it. It's up in San Francisco. That's one of the reasons we like it.
It's amazing.
And my joke, it's like he's mesmerized. Jimmy Stewart is just driving around San Francisco. We get to see all the buildings. His eyes are really green in it. The Technicolor is amazing. And they're playing the Bernard Herrmann soundtrack. And he's mesmerized with Kim Novak. And it is slow moving. But if you are in the right mood, it's hypnotizing,
Oh, totally. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
Does a lot of that. And I've watched it more than twice. I love watching that movie.
Hey, speaking of Tarantino, I don't see all of his movies, but I have two favorites. One is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Did I ever tell you my favorite that I like? They say it's different than his other ones.
Which one?
Jackie Brown.
Oh, right. No, yes. And I'm not a big Jackie Brown fan. I think we talked about this.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
I dislike it strongly. I just was like, I mean, I loved him. And I know when I first moved here, working with you, I lived in Laurel Canyon for a while on Lookout Mountain. I would come down every Sunday or Saturday, or maybe and Sunday, and I would eat at the Silver Spoon Diner.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
By Crescent Heights.
Yes, famous.
And, Santa Monica. And every time in there was, what's her name from Shelley Winters.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I was there, Shelley Winters. And then Robert Forster.
That's where
he knew he could find Robert Forster.
That's great.
And he gave him the script in the Silver Spoon.
Yeah. And the soundtrack was ridiculous. I mean, I heard Tarantino say if there was a certain song he couldn't get, he wouldn't make the movie. I'm wondering if he's talking about some of those songs in Jackie Brown. Yeah, they say that it was different than his other movies, and I loved it. But that's just me. By the way, De Niro played just a complete idiot. It was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah.
Gibby, I just want to keep it moving. I don't think is there anything else, because I'm just gonna. We
covered
went
wrestling.
40 minutes. I just wanted to hear your voice. I keep it moving in the summer. I think the only thing I want from you now is a scooter update, and then we're good to go.
Got a motorcycle.
What?
In addition to the scooter.
What?
Just that's what I just drove up to the Palisades. Yeah, I love it.
Death wish. It's a death wish.
Oh, geez. No,
it's too bad. Not safe. Not safe.
I go down and see my dad in Florida. Everyone's whizzing around without helmets on. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Is it a Triumph?
It's very similar, but it's the old Honda CB. It's like the indestructible, the higher handlebars. I'm not like on a little,
right.
I think we covered this last time. If you say rice rocket, is that racist? Because you're referring to a Japanese bike. Is rice such a horrible thing to bring up? I don't know. But anyway, it's not like one of these little ninjas, which is the real name of one of their bikes. So yeah, I'm not kidding myself. I'm an old guy. So I just
color is it?
It is black and silver.
Oh.
It looks like an old police motorcycle.
Oh.
Yeah. You look at it and you're like, that thing doesn't go fast, but I bet it needs very little maintenance.
Do you know
me? That's what people think when they see me.
Right. You know who used to ride motorcycles? Phil Jackson, when he coached the Lakers. He has a place up in, I want to say Kalispell. It's near Kalispell, Montana. And he'd drive his bike all the way down to LA, take a trip.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
Yeah, I was considering a Route 66 drive. The one I have is only a 400. It's a light, like kind of city bike.
Yeah.
So it's not big enough for long trips on the freeway.
Right.
It's not heavy enough and solid enough.
I'll see you at Vito soon. I'll see you at Vito soon. Okay.
We're overdue for Vito for sure.
Yeah. We've got the card. We've got the VIP card.
We're grandfathered in.
Thank you, sir.
Are you traveling at all this summer?
Oh, it's coming up in August. Yeah.
What are we allowed to say?
Well, we got a big birthday for somebody, and my birthday, and then her birthday, and tasting menus, Big Sur, Carmel, the whole thing.
Wow.
Other places. You ever been to Carpinteria, Mike?
Of course. I love Carpinteria.
Oh, I love it there.
I ate a little diner there once. It was so good.
They have a great diner there.
Yeah.
The Working Bee Diner is probably the one. Yeah. And I'll tell you a story. I do these jokes. I was at the counter, and I said, and Cherry was meeting me, and I said to the older lady behind the counter, I said, just do a joke and say we're out of all the pancakes. We have no pancakes, because I didn't want Cherry with a sweet tooth. And then she sits down. And the lady goes, "Here's a menu for you. We're out of pancakes." And Cherry goes, "He told you to say that." And she says, "Nobody tells me what to say."
Oh no.
Anyways, this is the kind of fun we have in Carpinteria.
That's like Trump's ladies. Trump should hire her. That's what he needs.
I knew you'd talk about Trump.
No one tells me to destroy
I knew you
files.
would bring up Trump. Okay. All right, brother.
All right,
I will.
This is great.
I'll see you later.
Soon.
Thank
we
you.
got dinner before August.
Okay.
Sounds good. Or lunch on the west side.
Yeah, I like that.
Or your early dinner, which counts as lunch almost.
That's Mike Gibbons, ladies and gentlemen. Always fun to catch up with him. That's our show. We'll see you next time. We'll do that. Yeah, say something at the end. We'll see you next time. And remember, young people, I'm proud of you.
Okay, bye.